Hi, it's Jackie. Today I want to talk about the progression of what I pack in my kit for some of the trips that I've taken this year. And for each trip, I've refined what I bring with me, and the items that I bring are really based on the type of trip that I'm going to be taking, as well as factoring in how much time I think I'm going to have to be able to do some journaling. In a previous video, I shared that you really only need 3 things, and that is true. If you are not going to have a lot of time to do any journaling at all, so you would just need something to record your experiences in, a pen, and then something to store your ephemera in. But other than that, that's really all you need. But if you are going to have some time to journal, then these are some of the things that I've packed in the past. Okay, so let's get started. This is what I packed for my very first travel journaling trip, which was a 13-day trip to Scotland. And I felt like I packed way too much once I was there. I think it was way too many things for me to bring, but I wanted to share it with you in case it gives you any ideas of the things that I brought and you want to do something similar. But this is really what I brought with me in terms of journaling, and it did really take me some time to sort of condense it down to this amount. So of course the first thing I brought was my journal, and it was much thinner then because I've been working on completing the Scotland journaling spreads. But I did bring my journal. I also brought a little sort of like coupon holder that I use to store stickers and just like papers and things that I might want to put into my spreads. So this was a really nice way to kind of organize all of that. So I brought that with me. I also brought a little bag which has a lot of the supplies as well. So of course I had my little tracker of the things that I was going to be recording. I brought some paper for my sprocket, which I'll show you what that is in a minute. I also got some of these washi tape holders that really sort of narrow down the amount of space that you need, and that way you can bring as many tapes as you want to bring. And then I did bring some pencils, some colored pencils in this little pouch. There's actually quite a bit in here. I also brought this little traveler's notebook sticker release booklet, so you can stick stickers in here and it just kind of keeps it all in one place. I also had my tape, my ink, and my stamp for the dates. There's going to be a lot in here. I also brought several markers and pens, as you can see here, and then a clip, and then some more washi tapes. So that's what I packed in here. And then I also carried around this smaller little bag with just like the essentials. And I just like this little one because it was really slim and I could just put it in my bag, like in my purse or my backpack with me when I was going around. But I have, a glue stick, some pens, I have a Sharpie, a pencil sharpener, and an eraser, and then a ruler, again, another pen here. And then I found this really cool, like a scissor pen, so I can use that, and it's really convenient, and I didn't have any trouble with that at the airport either. So that's what I kept in this little bag. And then I also brought my sprocket, which is my photo printer. It's really compact and just fits really nicely, and then that way I could print some of the pictures while I was traveling on the trip. So these are all the things that I brought. As I said, after I was on the trip and having to carry everything with my luggage and going from place to place, I just felt like it was too much, especially because on my trip we were really busy and I didn't really have a lot of time to do journaling. I did do some journaling while we were on the plane and a little bit while we were waiting in the airport, but for the most part we were super busy, and again, I just didn't have time, so this was definitely too much for me to bring with me. Okay, let's move on to the next trip. My next trip was a shorter trip that was definitely very different from my Scotland trip. So we did a 7-day trip to Cancun, and it was a resort style vacation. So we didn't do a lot of exploring. We did have one day where we went off the resort and did some like an adventure park, but other than that we were pretty much just poolside, just a relaxation type of vacation. So I didn't need, and I didn't feel like I needed to pack a lot of things that I would use for, you know, different spreads and whatnot. It was all going to be pretty consistent. And then also I did bring journaling supplies and journaling things because I felt like it was going to be a more relaxed vacation where I would have a lot of time to journal if I wanted to. So I did come prepared in case I wanted to do that. So what ended up happening is that even though I did have plenty of time and I did do a little bit of journaling, for the most part, I just wanted to be at the pool and like hang out and relax and watch the kids and, you know, just enjoy the time. So I didn't really do that much journaling, and I'll show you how far I actually got because I haven't completed my spreads for this trip yet. So again, I brought my sprocket and I did pack some extra paper. So that was all in this little bundle here. And then I brought my bag, my little kit here, which again had my little notes of the trip, of what we did each day. And then some of the same things that I showed you before, right? My date stamper and ink. And then this time I also wanted to try dabbling a little bit in watercolor. That was just like a new media that I was trying to explore, and I'm still trying to learn. So just like this little kit of watercolors and a little palette. And then I use these watercolor brushes that have the water built into it. So that was very convenient. And then some of the same stuff, right? So my tape, my markers, I was very deliberate in the colors that I picked for the journal, for the theme, right? Like beach type colors and tropical colors. Again, my scissors, pen, my eraser, and my glue stick, sharpener, clip, and ruler. So I brought all of these things with me. And what I really liked about this trip was that I got to use my Traveler's Company journal, and that actually has some cool features inside where I can use some storage in here. So I was able to find this insert which has a pocket. So I did bring some sticker paper that, you know, you can draw in and use as a sticker. And that's actually a really cool thing to have handy when you're journaling. But I was able to sort of just pick the washi tapes that I wanted to bring and then just slide them into these little pockets. I actually used the same little holders for Scotland. I just cut them in half so that they would fit in here in these little pockets. And you can see I have my insert. So you can see I did do the cover, and then I did get to do a little bit of the spreads, just like introductory page. And then just, you know, haven't filled in the wording yet, but that is something I am working through. What else did I have in here? So I did have the larger sticker release booklet from Traveler's Company as well. And what I did was I just found some images online, and I printed them on that sticker paper and then just cut them out and then stuck them in here so I could just use them as I was journaling while I was there. I also had some tissue paper and whatnot that I wanted to include in some of the spreads and some stickers, some other stickers. And then finally, in the zipper pouch, I did also bring some other stickers that I will end up storing elsewhere if I end up not using them. So this was what I packed for this trip. So I did pack more than I ended up using, but again, you know, I wanted to have the items in case I did, you know, feel inspired to work on the spreads. So this is what I packed for my second trip. All right, let's look at the next one. For my last trip that I want to share with you about, I took a quick 3-day trip to San Francisco to visit a good friend of mine. And I also made a quick stop at the San Francisco International Pen Show, where Traveler's Company USA was going to be. So I did bring my Traveler's Company journal, even though I wasn't planning on doing any journaling here for this trip. I brought it with me because in case I wanted to add anything to it or just to have it on hand. I did bring my regular life sort of day-to-day journal with me. I had already completed some spreads. I just needed to actually write the journal entry for them. So I brought that with me, and I did bring my regular kit. You know, it's the same stuff that you've seen in the previous clips. and then also my little notepad to track the activities and just memorable items that I did during those 3 days. So these are the 4 items that I brought with me, and again, I kind of knew I wasn't going to be doing a lot of journaling, but I was traveling alone, so I did want to bring it in case I had time, and I did have a little bit of time to just fill in some of the spreads that I had mentioned earlier. So that's about the extent of the journaling that I did on that trip. So all right, well, I hope you found this useful and helpful. I will put some links to some of the items that I shared with you that I find really useful in case you want to take a look. But other than that, I just wanted to say thanks for watching the video, and I appreciate your time.